And I'm pleased to be joined now by Peter from Rotary Club of Cornwall-Sunrise, as well as one of Cornwall's newest residents, Katharina. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you.
Well, it's great to have you both here, and welcome as well to the area, Katharina. I hope you're finding it to your liking, but maybe let's introduce you first to our audience. You are from Ukraine originally. You've come to Canada, you've come to Cornwall. Tell me a little bit about your journey in your life.
Okay. So this journey in 2022 was not absolutely expected, but here where we're now. Here is me and my family in this very nice, absolutely welcoming city of Cornwall, and we arrived here and started living here on the 1st of December. So it's just been 1.5 months, and my family is me and my husband, and we have 3 kids, 3 daughters, grades 2, 4, and 6, who are happily at school at Bridgewood School in Cornwall, and we like the community a lot. We like the area and all the sunshine and safety the city can provide us with, and the safety is really the most important thing for us now, because if you just hear some Ukrainian news, just 2 days ago in Dnipro, the city, one of the densely populated cities in Ukraine, the same residential building as we live in Ukraine, in our city of Kharkiv, was absolutely destroyed. To more than 200 flats, apartments with the families and people living there were just damaged, destroyed, people dead, and children are dead. So me and my family, we just had to leave after the 5 days and nights trying to hide our kids and ourselves in the basement of our residential house, and just to give ourselves a chance to leave and to save our kids. I think definitely we left the country on the 1st of March, and so it's been a really long travel. So the journey unplanned, but happily safe for us, and for a long time, over 6 months, we stayed in Greece, where my husband could work and support our family, and we had a chance to apply for this emergency travel to Canada, and we took this chance, and this is a great luck for us to give our kids a chance to live and improve their English. The English is the language that I love since my childhood, and I've been always trying to improve it. And so here we now, and the kids are learning, and my husband is starting his kind of working career or just job employment here, to support and provide our living, and Canadian government and also the local authorities of Cornwall, as well as lots of other people and organizations really helping us to feel our safe, secure, and just a little bit happy here, especially in this situation that happens in Ukraine now. The situation is war, so I just really want to call the things that happen there in the real words, give the real names. And the war happening there because of Russia's aggression, the large-scale invasion of Russia into Ukraine, just doesn't give us a chance to live in our country, in our home city right now. But yeah, we are glad to be here, safe, and we want to come back home actually one day, because we need Ukraine, Ukraine needs us, and we were happy to go back and to start rebuilding as soon as possible, but only when it's gonna be really safe for our kids to stay there, and we're sure that no bomb gets into the place where we live, where our kids sleep, and we can just go out and live our normal life.
Absolutely. I think we can all agree that every family deserves that. And I'm happy to hear that you've had such a great welcome to the area. I'm glad you and your family made it here safely, but I'm sure it's to our benefit, as long as we have you, that you're only going to enrich in our community. And it has been great to see. We certainly stand with the people of Ukraine. We watch in horror, again, like you said, we have to call it what it is. We watch in horror at what we see happening in Ukraine. But we know that as Canadians, we've, right from the get-go, Peter, we've tried to do what we can, and that includes work by by the Rotary Club of Cornwall-Sunrise. So talk to me a little bit about how you guys have mobilized to help the people of Ukraine.
So the Rotary Club of Cornwall-Sunrise, I'm currently the president, and I'm also the District 7040 Grants Chair. Similar to when the explosion happened in Beirut, we mobilized to help out as much as we could. As soon as the war in Ukraine started, having a previous military background myself, and having seen firsthand in Yugoslavia what war does as far as devastation to local populations, I felt a great need to try to mobilize and do something. And speaking to people within our club and within our district, we reached out to the Rotary Club of Kharkiv New Level, and there was an issue. They were starting a project with providing blankets because winter was coming. So the fundraising that we're doing currently, 100% of the funds goes to Ukraine for the manufacture of the blankets, and they're all made there. They're waterproof, they're very versatile, and it's a small thing, but right now with the problem with power and heat, they really do save lives. So that is our current project that we're working on. The other thing that we're also just starting up right now is looking at collecting leftover textiles from people. So if you have a couple balls of yarn or wool left over from a project that you have sitting in a closet, we're going to start collecting that. They will be shipped to Rotary Club of Kharkiv New Level, and there are many women there that are eager to start knitting hats, scarves, mitts, socks. Again, purchasing anything right now is becoming more and more difficult, and those items are not available. So we have two initiatives that we have started on. Any donations made, you can reach out to me. We'll provide that contact information afterwards. And for the blankets, any monetary donations, it goes to a foundation at cornwallsunriserotary.com, and that is where we have auto deposit. If you do that, put your contact information in the box, in the note box, so that we can issue a tax receipt.
That's wonderful. And Catherine, as we alluded to, you've been here in the area, you and your family, for about 6 weeks. 4 weeks in, you heard about this and you got involved right away. So talk to me a little bit about your involvement in helping out the Rotary Club help the people of Ukraine.
We've only actually
so we've had advertisements in the newspaper. Blankets for Ukraine is what the project is called, and Katerina contacted us through Facebook, and I actually met her for the first time on Friday, and we had a great conversation.
Amazing.
So we are looking at what we can do both to help her and her family, as well as what we can do to organize to help Ukraine.
Absolutely, it's fantastic, and I know something else that you'd like to do is maybe a support group or group the community together. We know that there are other Ukrainians who have come to the area. Unfortunately, it's very difficult for you to know how many or who they are. So if there's anybody watching that does know a family, or if any of the families are watching, they can reach out to you. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Me, myself, actually, when we arrived in September to Canada, we didn't go directly to Cornwall, but we heard a lot about the city. We lived in the rural area in Avonmore, 20 minutes drive from here, and we hosted by a very nice retired family, Mr. and Miss Sadler, who welcomed us and just made their home our home for 2.5 months. And what I did during this time, I not only watching, reading news and information on Facebook, which is our Ukrainians typical kind of thing that we have to do to know what's going on here around us, and they're back in our home. I was also looking through all the things that got in our house mailbox, and those were the newspapers from Cornwall, and lots of information I could get in Tim Hortons cafes and places like that. So there were lots of information, magazines and newspapers from Cornwall. So I also read the news about your club and your donations and your projects, and so I was sure that Cornwall is a great community for us to stay, and I'm sure not only for my family but also for any Ukrainian family. And I did really hear that there are more Ukrainian families, not only ours. But we have to admit that the city is not as big as Ottawa or other cities which are very popular for Ukrainians to come, as Toronto or some others. And so this kind of communication from getting information from newspapers or Facebook channels is quite popular, and might be a chance for us to meet other families here. So I've got my personal page on Facebook, and I will be happy to get some messages there. So I can just give my information about my first name and last name to be found there too. And I'll be happy to get in contact with some Ukrainian families, and we could also organize some kind of nice Ukrainian traditional dinner and make some kind of Ukrainian party that I'm sure all the families, especially families with the children or young people or older people need, and have a chance to communicate, to come together and just spend their time and support each other too. So because we got the support from people all over the world, that our national communication is rather important. So I'll be happy to be reached out on my Facebook page. My name is Katerina Shumova. I'm sure Ukrainians can easily find it. And the city, the location in Facebook will be Kharkiv, Ukraine, and then we just can start up a group of Cornwall, Ukrainians in Cornwall. Necessarily to be mentioned that it is Ontario in Canada, because I found I could find some Ukrainians in Cornwall in the UK, which I am really glad for, but it didn't help me here. So I'll be happy to get in touch with some Ukrainians here.
Excellent. Well,
thank you for this chance.
Well, thank you for being here and sharing your story and sharing the great work that you guys are doing to help, obviously not only your family, but other families and the people that are still unfortunately in Ukraine right now going through so much. So we wish you the best of luck. Peter, I know you're telling me off camera that so far the community's really been supporting this, but we need to continue supporting this, so they can reach out to you and the Rotary Club anytime to donate either money or materials.
Correct, yes. And we are looking, as Katerina had mentioned, that we do have a good community of Ukrainians, which we know we do in Cornwall. It's just privacy laws and so on, it makes it difficult for people to find out about each other. So we're hoping with you that we'll get the message out and we'll get more people getting together. And we're looking at potentially hosting a Ukrainian dinner and getting to know people within our community that are from Ukraine.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both once again, and we wish you certainly the best of luck, and certainly the best of luck to you and your family for as long as you're here. Like I said, I know that you'll enrich in our community, and we hope you enjoy, and hopefully this will all end soon and you'll get to go home eventually. So thank you once again.
Thank you very much.